right, and next up, we have Candice Smith, the CEO and founder of Caregiven. The video is going to take on now.
Hello there. I'm Candice Smith, here with my dad many years ago, long before he was an AARP member and long before I lost him. The last 2 years of his life were some of my most cherished, but also most challenging. Upon learning of his cancer diagnosis, a care journey began involving coordinating appointments, insurance coverage, financial care, documenting our family history. The list goes on and on. And when I say we, I mean everyone, not just me and my dad, but my mom, my brother, my kids. From stress to finances, from time to grief, everyone's life was impacted. There were resources and solutions available, but they were fragmented, siloed, and confusing to navigate. I did not know what I needed, what Dad needed, when we needed it, or whom to trust. I wondered, where was the app to help me? I had one for planning a wedding and starting a family, but where was the step-by-step guidance for my new role as a caregiver? At the time, there was no simple solution to guide our family through this journey. Now there is. Caregiven is that digital solution for those caring for a family member or loved one, however care is defined: physical, emotional, financial, and social. Our product gathers and filters out the complexity and overwhelm of finding, coordinating, financing, and documenting the care of another person. This is not just another checklist app. It is not just document storage. This is not just helping schedule appointments, buy products, or set up meal trains. Caregiven's strength is in its empathetic design, speaking directly to informal caregivers, delivering the right information to the right people at the right time. And it works. Recently, a user described how comforting it was to have Caregiven in her hand as a reference and respite when caring for her dad in his final days. Caregiven was with her in the middle of the night, helping her navigate the most difficult moments of her life. And she is not alone. Presently, there are 66 million American caregivers navigating this inefficient, fragmented caregiving landscape and marketplace. Caregiven helps them and aims to help the 25 million AARP members and their families. We have the product and our customers deliver the solution. Caregiven works on an enterprise model where partners from insurance carriers to financial services, from healthcare systems to employers, all recognize the need and benefits of supporting the 50+ and caregiver market. Our first pilot partners are insurance companies, an industry plagued by timing issues, never really being able to offer expertise and products in a proactive way. We should know. Our Chief Revenue Officer worked in the industry for over 20 years, most recently utilizing customer-centered digital solutions to help a prominent insurer double in size in 5 years. Despite that success, he saw the opportunity to reach policyholders and their families in a better, more compassionate way. That is why he joined Caregiven. Directly or through their agents, insurance carriers will pay licensing and white label fees to offer Caregiven to their policyholders and families. This is not just an act of goodwill. It directly generates new revenue opportunities as well as efficiency gains in marketing and claims as they become the sponsored provider of a resource helping families at their greatest time of need. After releasing our product directly with consumers in April, we are now commencing our first pilot projects with insurance carriers and other enterprise customers. But Caregiven will not stop there. Our expansion, growth, and scale will take place in the following ways. First, through provider channels. Then, we will expand revenue sharing into a broadened set of goods and services to connect caregivers and their families to providers, resources, and support at all touch points during the care journey. Next, geographically, Australia, Canada, Great Britain, and Japan are just a few examples of countries who have preferred aged care legislation and cultural support that prove to be a natural fit for future Caregiven expansion. And lastly, Through the licensing of data and insights, Caregiven aggregates comprehensive data on the care journey for all participants, offering incredible behavioral insights. Since working with the HITLAB in 2019, we've built and launched our product, secured enterprise pilot partners, and oversubscribed our pre-seed capital raise. But none of these achievements would have been possible without the Caregiven team. My co-founder and CTO led engineering at one of the fastest growing software analytics companies in North America. Our marketing leader oversaw the product launch of WebMD and Invisalign, and you know the story of our Chief Revenue Officer. Board members and advisors are subject matter experts guiding Caregiven's growth and scale, but beyond professional expertise, each and every person mentioned has been a caregiver. Caregiven is the ultimate, most meaningful social connection tool for older adults and their loved one. We want to put Caregiven into the hands of as many families as possible, so it is time to grow. Our upcoming seed round will be used to accelerate development into the market segments mentioned earlier. An AARP HITLAB award and recognition will help us as we further develop the tool that your community, your members, and even your own family will one day need. Thank you for this opportunity to present Caregiven to you and for your consideration of us as an AARP innovation.
Outstanding. All right, Candice, thank you very much for that tremendous, really that wonderful overview. And let's get some questions from the judges. Nicole.
I am probably going to start typing my questions in.
That's fine.
Candice, wonderful job. Who would you consider your nearest competitors are? And number one, and then number two, are you subscription based? I may have missed that, but how do you collect your revenue? What's your revenue source?
Sure. So our nearest competitor would probably be Google. You're a caregiver, you're in a crisis, you hop down and say, my dad has stage 4 esophageal cancer. What do I need to know? That and the taboo of the topic makes people not asking questions from other people. But when it comes to competitors in the landscape, if you remember that chart, there are amazing companies doing bits and pieces of what Caregiven does. So I look to a cake or a lantern in that end of life planning, or I look to aging choices and honor when it comes to helping individuals age in place or finding care facilities. Even looking at some of the other companies here that we are approaching the same demographic and trying to put similar services, specifically Family Proud, would be ultimately not a competitor, but hopefully a company that we can collaborate with and lift up. And yes, our enterprise, we are an enterprise product. We will be working directly, say, with carriers and having an enterprise fee, a white labeling fee, knowing that these individuals see Caregiven as a differentiator for, say, their insurance policy over a competitor's, and how they offer it to their policyholders will be up to them. But we've given a lot of thought and actually worked with the HITLAB. Is this a per member per month? Is it based on usage? Really, we just need to make it as accessible to everybody. And given that we are a high touch but low cost solution in that we're purely digital, we don't use human care navigators, we can keep our price point pretty low.
Perfect. All right, Blair, any questions for Caregiven?
Yes. Can you explain a little bit more about how you're going to tackle insurance in your global expansion, your insurance partners in your global expansion?
Yes. Well, one of the opportunities there is working with a global insurance carrier who will help us as we expand. So the way Caregiven's technology has been built, it has been built to be culturally safe and appropriately nuanced. So if, for example, we are deploying in Australia, our insurance, the US insurance forms would not be the same down there. We would bring them in regionally specific. One of the other aspects, as I said, of Caregiven, it's culturally safe. truth. We know that the way you have conversations about care and care planning in the US are very different than those conversations one would have even in another English speaking country or Canada. So as we build out our platform into those countries, we will be working with subject matter experts there so that the right advice is tailored to the right individual based on where they're at.
Fantastic. And Nathan, final question from the judges with Nathan.
Sure. Can you elaborate who all can make up the care circle? So obviously be the caregiver and the care family, or other members of the family or other members of that circle. But are you able to bring in other organizations? I know you're trying to like bring in all these different resources and all these different capabilities. Who all can actually be as part of this care circle? Is it anyone that you ultimately choose you want to be part of that circle?
Yeah, we empower the family to invite professionals into the circle as well. We have security is of utmost importance to us. So we have varying layers of security that the primary caregiver or the individual who has started the process with Caregiven can decide what say medical professionals see, what Sister Susie in Nebraska sees, where that may be different than that inner circle. But our idea is to empower those individuals to ask for help and to provide a flow of information appropriate based on what the family chooses so that everybody's in the communication loop. It simplifies that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Outstanding. Well, thank you very much, Candice, and congratulations on Caregiven. And again, thank you, judges, for just terrific Q&A and really good questions. And don't forget, audience, now's the time to start taking notes and get ready for your fan favorite audience poll at the end. The all-important recognition of that's important. And again, remember to link in with all of the judges and the participants and certainly Jacqueline and everyone else while you can. The All-Star social media coordinator, Maddie Lazar, is entering in all the LinkedIn information for everybody so that we can all get connected and stay connected. And certainly look in the chat box of your Zoom and you'll be able to do that as well.